Hey guys, welcome back to Wrestling News 365. Hope everyone is doing very well. As always, there is a ton of news stories to get into. We're going to talk about Ring of Honor Final Battle. Of course, this coming weekend is the Final Battle pay-per-view, and it really is the finale of Ring of Honor as we know it. Of course, that big announcement was made a couple of months ago that we were going to see all of the Ring of Honor talents released, and Ring of Honor was going on hiatus to reimagine it for the first quarter of next year, and then whatever comes back is going to be different. It's not Ring of Honor as we know it. The Ring of Honor that we've always known since its inception, really, in 2002 to now, is going to change radically. It's going to be less of an exclusive company, more of like a super indie, I guess, in the sense that you'll have these shows that they'll do and these pay-per-view events that they do, kind of like a PWG, but no one's really contracted exclusively to the company. That's what they're going to, I think, trying to do. But Ring of Honor as we know it is over, and the finale is coming this weekend. So obviously a lot of people are interested as to what Ring of Honor is going to do for this final battle. There's been lots of issues about world title matches and positive tests and all this kind of stuff. It's been a bit of a drama, really, hasn't it? Well, we have some information when it comes to Impact Wrestling and All Elite Wrestling sending talent to Ring of Honor Final Battle. Now, Final Battle is tonight, and Ring of Honor is getting some reinforcements coming into the company. In addition to AEW sending Jay Lethal to main event against Jonathan Gresham, one AEW source has indicated to Fightful Select that they believed AEW was sending, quote, multiple people, though this has not yet been confirmed. However, Fightful has also learned that Impact Wrestling was allowing at least one significant talent from their roster signed to a full-time deal, which does narrow it down. Obviously, lots of people appear for Impact Wrestling, but not everyone signed to a full-time deal to appear this weekend at Final Battle as well. Obviously, if they find out more, we'll talk about it here on the channel, but it's interesting because let's talk about it from an Impact Wrestling perspective first, then we'll talk about AEW. From an Impact Wrestling perspective, who could that be? Significant name, full-time deal. And you think, well, there can't be that many. There is a lot of former Ring of Honor stars that are signed to Impact Wrestling contracts right now. Deonna Purrazzo. Okay, she's one of the biggest talents that Impact Wrestling has on the roster. Certainly one of the best female wrestlers in the world right now. She absolutely could show up. But then once you start going through the roster, you realize there's actually quite a few options. So maybe it is more than one. But you've got Moose, the current Impact World Champion. That was really one of my first intentions. Like, if Impact's going to send anyone and it's going to be a big deal of who they send the World Champion, right? And Moose, former Ring of Honor star, went from Ring of Honor to Impact and has stayed ever since. Given Moose's new contract that he's allowed to work other events as long as Impact give him permission, given he's the world champion and sort of the evolution of Moose since he left Ring of Honor and went to Impact Wrestling, I think Moose makes a lot of sense, given that Moose is everywhere at the moment. He's performing for New Japan as well. He's going to be at that Terminus event as well. So I think that's a possibility. Of course, Terminus is being hosted or promoted rather by Jonathan Gresham. So again, that could make sense if maybe Moose shows up and attacks Jonathan Gresham there. Maybe you've got Jordan Grace as well, who of course is the wife of Jonathan Gresham as well. So that's a possibility. Jordan Grace could absolutely show up. Chris Sabin's on a deal with Impact Wrestling as well. He's a former Ring of Honor star also. Eddie Edwards is a former Ring of Honor star. And maybe even Rich Swann. I mean, he's from Baltimore, which is where the company's based out of Ring of Honor. So when you look at it, you realize that, first of all, Ring of Honor's fingerprints are kind of everywhere over pro wrestling. That's WWE, AEW, Impact Wrestling, everyone. So I think, to be honest with you, it's a curious one. If I had to pick, if you said, Owen, if you have to bet on it, Owen, who do you think? I would probably lean into Moose, just because I think he's everywhere. But I think Eddie Edwards is a good bet as well. I really do. Again, I don't know. I really don't know. I'm going to probably go with Moose, though. When it comes to AEW, again, they're sending Jay Lethal. There's so many names they could send. For me, I think the real hope from the AEW people that I would hope to see are the obvious ones, really. I mean, CM Punk. He's on like the Mount Rushmore of Ring of Honor, helped keep it afloat during scandal times with his matches with Samoa Joe. So obviously, I'd want to see CM Punk show up. Bryan Danielson, synonymous with Ring of Honor. Imagine a scene. Imagine the scene of one of the closing shots of Ring of Honor as we know it. The closing shot of it, shall we say, is CM Punk and Bryan Danielson back inside of a Ring of Honor ring again. That would be mind-blowing and fitting, to be honest with you. It would be fitting of the legacy that is Ring of Honor and what everything it's done for pro wrestling over the course of the last 18, 19 years or so. So I would love to see Punk and Danielson there. Of course, we've still got other names, Adam Cole. And of course, even those people that left Ring of Honor / New Japan Pro Wrestling to start up AEW, that would be the Elite. So that would be Kenny Omega. That would be the Young Bucks. That would be Cody Rhodes himself. So there's plenty of names. There's plenty, and obviously a million more that I'm missing right now. So there's plenty of names that could show up tonight at Final Battle. But when it comes to the Impact Wrestling names, again, it is a really tough one. It is a really tough one. I would probably, again, lean into it being Moose, just because he's everywhere right now, but I think that's really what it should be. Obviously, there's going to be great matches, and there's going to be a lot of, the Ring of Honor talent as well, but if this is truly a finale of sorts for Ring of Honor as we know it, if this is truly the end for ROH, which it is, to be honest with you, it is the end of ROH as we know it, and as I mentioned, it's changing radically. Given the names that are available, previously the problem would have been, just getting them, because they would have been under WWE contract. Getting them to show up would have been very difficult, but even names like Kyle O'Reilly, I just did a video talking about Kyle O'Reilly and him being a free agent now and his departure from WWE. Is it a possibility that Kyle O'Reilly could show up? Legally, he can. He's a free agent. So those kind of names with the possibility of showing up tonight is fascinating. So... and it's just a fascinating time because a lot of the people that are ROH contracted talents that are going to be appearing on this show and wrestling on this show are going to be available soon. So maybe it's a case of these AEW, sending AEW and Impact Wrestling talents there along with officials of either company to try and, have some conversations, When's your contract up? When do you finish tonight? When do you want to come into AEW? Do you want to come into Impact Wrestling? What's that looking like? All that kind of stuff. So it's quite a historic moment, and it's going to be fascinating. And from, like I said, an Impact Wrestling and AEW perspective, I'm fascinated to see who they send to these shows. But when you talk about the legacy of Ring of Honor, it's incredible because any company that's a major company right now, it's got a plethora of former Ring of Honor stars or stars that got their start in Ring of Honor. But I do think it would be fitting, and again, I don't expect like CM Punk and Bryan Danielson to wrestle on this show. That's ludicrous. But, to have the main event, whatever that may be, to maybe have, I don't know, Jay Lethal versus Jonathan Gresham, right? And Jonathan Gresham wins, or whatever happens, right? And then they're holding up, they're, celebrating with the crowd, everyone's emotional, and then to have Bryan Danielson and to have CM Punk come out, and then you've got the past with the present and the end of Ring of Honor. That's how I'd book it, and I think that makes a lot of sense. Whether or not they will do that, I don't know, but it is a crazy time because Ring of Honor, whilst it never was even the number 2 promotion in the world, or even in the United States, Impact was always ahead of it at their respective peaks. It still has been a major part, and maybe it had its moment in sort of 2018, 2019. Sort of 2018, 2019. It is a shame. It's a massive shame how things have worked out, but that's the current climate, unfortunately. That's not just wrestling, that's just life in this pandemic. It's decimated so many kinds of business, and pro wrestling is no different, unfortunately. But it's going to be fascinating to see what happens tonight anyway. But look, guys, as always, it's just one man's opinion. What are your thoughts on Ring of Honor Final Battle tonight, and which names from Impact Wrestling and AEW do you think are going to show up at the event? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. I'll do my best to respond and reply to all of your comments. Really enjoy interacting with you guys, talking about Impact Wrestling, AEW, WWE, New Japan Pro Wrestling, Ring of Honor tonight. So be sure to get involved with the comment section below. Smash a like on the like button. Be sure to subscribe, bottom right-hand corner as well. Really does help us out here on YouTube. Go up the rankings and get into people's recommendation feeds if they haven't seen our videos previously. But most importantly, as I mentioned, be sure to subscribe, bottom right-hand corner, or if you wait a few seconds, there'll be a subscribe button at the end of this video, along with another video for you to watch. Thank you very much for watching, listening, streaming, or have you come across this video today, and I'll speak to you again very, very soon.
Hey guys, thank you for watching, listening, streaming, or however you come across this video today. Be sure to click on the video on the right there to watch our next video, or click the bottom there to subscribe, or the bottom right-hand corner. Thank you very much, and I'll speak to you again very soon.